There's an old apocryphal Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times. Jeremiah definitely lived in interesting times. He began preaching before the reforms of Josiah, so before 622 BC, and continued after the death of Josiah in 609 all the way down to 582. And the end of the book actually dates to 562. So it's a very large chronological span we're talking about with the book of Jeremiah. The story of the exile in the book is told twice, chapter 39 and chapter 52, and it probably is an indication by me saying that the organization of the book is somewhat difficult. Some will say it's organized thematically. One thing is clear, it is not organized chronologically. Though chapter 2 through 6 does date from the earliest period, likely in the time of Josiah, and perhaps even inspiring some of those reforms of Josiah. From chapter 7 on, it gets complicated. Jeremiah 25 dates to 605 BC, but chapter 26 dates to 609, but 29 dates to 597. So it goes crossways as you go through it. And if that wasn't complicated enough, the Septuagint is 1/8 shorter than the Septuagint copy of Jeremiah is 1/8 shorter than the Masoretic text, the Hebrew copy of the book of Jeremiah. And there's nothing explicitly left out. It simply is organized differently and is shorter in the way it tells some of the stories along the way. And both were found at Qumran, and both were considered canonical. So Jeremiah is a complicated book in the way in which it is organized. But perhaps more complicated than the way the book is organized was the life of Jeremiah. Jeremiah lived in interesting times. Assyria had been the dominant power for 3 centuries. But they were beginning to lose their power, and the Babylonian Empire was starting to encroach upon the old Assyrian territories. Necho, who was the pharaoh of Egypt, decided to join with the Assyrians to oppose the Babylonian advance. They felt that this was the time for Egypt to reassert its international presence and join with the Assyrians. Unfortunately, Egypt can't win a game on the road and lost that battle. But what's significant for us in this story is as Necho was going up to join with the Assyrians and meet the Babylonians, Josiah, good King Josiah, for reasons that the Bible doesn't really give us, and just inexplicably, stands in the plains of the Jezreel at Megiddo and makes like the Black Knight in the Holy Grail, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, saying, "None shall pass," and he is killed. He steps out there with his little bitty Judean army trying to oppose the massive Egyptian war machine, and he gets killed. Necho continues on his way, goes up, gets beaten by the Babylonians, comes back, and likely in a very bad mood, decides to depose Josiah's younger son, who had claimed the throne, Jehoahaz, and place Josiah's older son, Jehoiakim, on the throne. Now, Jehoiakim wouldn't be on the throne without Egypt's help, and so in matters of international intrigue, Jehoiakim's allegiances are always going to align with Egypt's. And so we're going to see that play out in the course of the story as well. This is the world Jeremiah is trying to preach in, a time when there is major international change and really approaching the end of the life of Judah.